Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Chris with ScooterOps.com back in the virtual e-scooter repair shop, okay? So this scooter, the Apollo Phantom, we're working on the rear flat. This is part 2 of the series. This scooter's a doozy. This scooter weighs like 100 freaking pounds, so I'm trying to leave it on the shelf. I have like this pretty sturdy shelf that I built, and so where we left off, we had to go to the hardware store and we had to buy some some bolts. So we're gonna pull those out, and we had some strip screws. This is a motor wheel, and again, the scooter's very heavy, so like always, the tricky thing is to gonna get it on camera for you guys. But I have my table, so it should be within the range of the table. I also have this little triangular side desk that I bought off Amazon that holds my tires a little bit lower than my circular wooden table. Okay, so again, this is part 2 of the Apollo Phantom rear flat. This is a motor wheel, so you have to work within the vicinity of the motor cable. And again, this scooter is very fucking heavy, for lack of a better terminology. So yeah, let's get to work. So everything is still in the tin from last time. Just clearing my mouse and keyboard. Okay. Focus. Alright, so we have this fender. And we have tube. We have the wheel. Make sure you orient the wheel frontwards dependent on this little arrow. There's a little arrow on the tire. Can't really see it, but there's an arrow on the tire. You want the tire going that way, which means this way when you put it on. That's your tread arrow. Okay? We have our disc brake to put on. This is a split rim. It's very dirty. Okay, so split rims. I'm all the way over here, but this is really the best shot I can get for you guys. So, typical rule of thumb, you always want to tuck the tube into the tire. That's like usually step number 1, no matter what scooter you're working on. I'll have the tube size in the description and the tire size in the description, as always. Half the battle. Your boy does a lot of work. Okay. Your boy does a lot of work, actually. Showing everything for you guys. That's the point of this channel, okay? All mysteries revealed in the e-scooter industry. This tube is not playful, but it's in there. It's a little stiff. Take off your valve cap. It's going to feed through the rim, and then you can recap it so it doesn't go anywhere. Ooh, that's really tough. They don't make this shit easy. They really don't. Okay. Tuck that sucker in there. Okay. We're gonna need our needle nose pliers. Pull that through as much as you can. It is very tight. I don't want to strip the threads too much. I'm going to try to cap it. So the cap is sort of on. You're going to need a valve stem extender for this blow up. So on paper, split rim is easier to fix because the rim splits in two and you can just put the tube in there, but in reality it's not necessarily easier because you can pinch the tube. You can pinch it quite easily, and it's tough to get your little fingers in there, and the key is massaging the tube so that it sits in the tire uniformly and you don't pinch it when you put on the other side of the rim. I'm going to need something to move, so I'm using a 5 to move my tube because I don't want to put any holes in it. I'm using a big metal object, not a small one. Just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to go around nicely. Doesn't want to go around nicely. You gotta go around nicely, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. The tube is blocking the bolt holes. Keep massaging it until it moves over. Man. I wonder if I should put a little bit of air in it. let's try that. It's not cooperating at all. So you're going to need your valve extender. Valve extender, you can get these at O'Reilly. Okay. Or any auto shop probably. Screw your valve extender on all the way. We're going to put a little bit of air in this before we put the rim on, just so it becomes uniform in there. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky because it doesn't give us a lot of room to work. Definitely no more than 10 psi. Actually, that did the trick. So, it's difficult to show, but the tube was not sitting, it was sitting over the bolt holes. And if you put in 10 psi, the tire blows up so that you now have access to the bolt holes for your split rim. Okay. Let's see if the bolts from the hardware store work for us. So separate the nice ones from the crummy. 6 new bolts here. These aren't even, old ones are different sizes. Okay. And these look like a 4. Grab your 4. Okay. These aren't even biting. Okay, that one's in. So you need 1 of 6 to bite. If you get 1 of 6 to bite, meaning the bottom of the screw, when you put it into the split rim, the bottom of it holds on. You need 1 of 6 to bite, and then you can work the other 5 in. This with 10 psi in the tube, so that the tube is circular around where you're working and you don't pinch the tube while you screw in. So even though the scooter is old and the bolt holes are weak, we have 1 of 6 bolts holding on so that we can screw in the other 5. Ideally, you want to go in like a pentagram, just like they do in NASCAR, okay? Again, this scooter's very heavy, so it's tough to show, but I feel like I explained it pretty good. True, you don't want to lock these down all the way because we still have to blow up the tube a little bit. So don't lock them down super tight. PSI. So now with the rim on, you can blow this up to about 35, up from 10. Now finish your bolts. Nice. That hole's fucking stripped. Now you can blow it up to 50. Your valve extender, put on the cap. Release a little bit of air for good luck. Okay. you screwed up, guys. We put the treads on backwards. So we're gonna have to start over. Release some air pressure out of your tire. We're going to have to take the rim off. Yep, the tire is on backwards. Undo your bolts. Make sure you put the tire tread in the right direction relative to the direction of your brake, your disc brake. So you'll see what I mean in a second. Yeah, this is slow work. It can be slow. There's a billion ways to screw up, even when you do it right. Good to have good tools. So if you haven't seen it, check out our video on what's in the toolbox. What's in the toolbox? Because if you have good tools, you know, it's like a mental battle. If you have crappy tools, you ain't gonna get shit done. Okay, so we put the tire tread on backwards. What that means is deplete your tube. Okay. just have to turn the tire around like this. Okay. So when I put it on like this, the arrow is in the proper direction. Yep, okay. So it's annoying, but that's what the client wants. I'm doing this out of order. Okay, let's restart this. You're going to feed the tube in. Make sure the orientation is correct. If there's an arrow, you want it pointing to the right if your brake disc is aligned and the caliper is to the right. Okay? Now put the valve stem through the back part of the split rim. Valve extender, blow it up to 10 psi. Very tough to grab. All right, 10 psi. that creates a uniform circle for you to put the other half of your split rim on. Okay. Make sure 1 of 6 bolts bites, then work in a pentagram. This rim's a little beat up, but still functional. Don't tighten them all the way before you blow it up. Becoming a long video. It's over half an hour, but perhaps I'll cut it. I don't like cutting the videos, but now let's blow it up to about 35. Up from 10. Process. You can do it. Okay. Now we'll screw these in. The rest of the way. Screw them in the rest of the way. The stripped one. Okay. So the tread orientation is correct. So I can now put on my disc brake. There's an orientation to the disc brake, but it's not as important, I guess. But I'm going to do it for the client. The scooter's been through a lot. These can tighten all the way down. Also stripped. Okay. So now we put the tire back on to the frame. I should say the wheel back onto the frame of the scooter. The scooter's very freaking heavy. Definitely helpful to use your knees. We have 3 washers and 2 nuts. When you put the washers on and you have like 3 of them, it doesn't really matter as long as you get 3 of them. So if you're missing 1 of 4, per se, just get 3 of them on. tuck your motor wire behind the clamp. And don't forget to remove your valve extender. There you have it. Wheel spinning, brake works. Okay. So the Apollo Phantom rear flat is on and working. Hey guys, I forgot to do one thing, and that's put the fender on. So Apollo Phantom, I forgot to put the fender on, but another reason I film my repairs now is so I can see exactly how I took apart the scooter tire. So for instance, I can look at my video and see that the fender goes this way and not this way. So we're gonna throw that on and add it to the back end of the video. Okay, so you'll see that, and let's finish this up real quick, shall we? Don't want to spend too much time on it. You're here and you forgot to put your fender on, take off your nuts. There's a lot of doing and undoing. You wish you had an undo button when it comes to scooter repair, because you're gonna do something that you have to undo, and that's always the case, it seems. Yeah, that fender's going on now. The scooter's been through a lot. I think I already mentioned that, but yeah. It's pretty beat up. Sometimes you wish you had a third hand, but I'll get it on. your lawyer's lips washers. And nuts go back on. So yeah, a lot of doing and undoing. You wish you had an undo button like in Microsoft, but you don't. You might want to buy a size wrench for this if you have the money, but our budget's tight, so we're using the adjustable. Alright, there you have it, guys. So we put the fender back on. I know it's tough to see from this angle, but this scooter's really heavy. You're gonna watch me suffer as I turn it around now, okay? Weighs about 100. Okay. Now we can do the front tire. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks.